Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got a double feature of corporate faceplants for you. First up, Netflix somehow managed to slap a bizarre political lecture on top of a 1939 Oscar classic, got dragged for it, and quietly deleted the evidence. Then Sony decided the 10th anniversary of one of the biggest box office disasters in modern movie history was a cause for celebration. Buckle up because both of these are exactly as dumb as they sound. Let's start with Netflix. So here's what happened. Users started noticing that Netflix had quietly rewritten the description for Gone with the Wind. You know, the sweeping 1939 romance epic about Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler set against the Civil War. Except instead of a synopsis, viewers got hit with a blunt little verdict. This movie is known for its racism, followed by a helpful suggestion to go learn more about Black history by visiting the Black Lives Matter website. Yes, that's the synopsis. Not sweeping romance, best picture winner, one of the most influential films ever made. Just a political pop quiz slapped on top of a classic, as if the platform's algorithm woke up one day and decided it was a professor of critical theory. And here's the kicker that makes the whole thing even more absurd. You can't even watch the movie on Netflix in the US. It's just a placeholder card that redirects you to HBO Max. So Netflix didn't even own the content anymore. They just couldn't resist reaching over, slapping a lecture on someone else's movie, and walking away like they'd done something noble. Naturally, screenshots went viral. The backlash was immediate, and even Elon Musk weighed in publicly, saying this kind of thing needs to stop. Netflix, seeing the scale of the mockery, quietly deleted the description and pretended nothing happened. Classic move. Announce your virtue loudly, get laughed at, delete it silently, hope everyone forgets, except the internet doesn't forget, and neither do we. And the irony here is almost too perfect. Gone with the Wind is the film that gave Hattie McDaniel her Oscar, the first Black actress in history to win one. But sure, let's reduce 80 plus years of film history to a single guilt trip and a link to a political organization's homepage. Real nuanced, real respectful of the achievement. This isn't even Netflix's first rodeo, by the way. HBO Max famously pulled the movie entirely a few years back during a wave of protests, only to bring it back with a mandatory 5-minute preamble explaining to grown adults how they're supposed to feel about a movie before they're allowed to watch it. Because apparently paying customers can't be trusted to have their own thoughts anymore, they need a corporate chaperone standing next to them wagging a finger. And it's not just prestige dramas getting this treatment. Disney's been doing this for years too, slapping disclaimers on Peter Pan and Dumbo, Bambi, warning you that these decades-old cartoons contain outdated cultural depictions. As if a kid trying to watch a movie about a flying boy or a baby deer is going to be permanently corrupted without a mega corporation's permission slip first. Here's the thing, these studios never seem to learn. This constant, condescending hand-holding doesn't win anyone over. It just makes people resent being treated like they can't tell the difference between a 100-year-old story and modern values on their own, which is exactly why the moment Warner announced a new 4K collector's edition of Gone with the Wind this same week, people jumped on it. Because owning a physical copy is now the only way to guarantee some editor 1,000 miles away doesn't quietly rewrite your movie's description, or worse, the movie itself, whenever the mood strikes them. Great art survives decades, survives centuries. It's the corporations trying to retroactively slap a syllabus onto someone else's masterpiece that end up looking small. Now let's talk about a company with even less self-awareness, Sony. Recently, Sony decided it was a great idea to throw a full-blown 10th anniversary celebration for the 2016 all-female Ghostbusters reboot. A movie that, let's be honest, has become the go-to punchline for what happens when a studio prioritizes a message over making a good movie. Sony's official social accounts posted cheerful, happy 10th anniversary messages, practically begging people to go rewatch this thing, complete with links to buy digital copies. The marketing team apparently believed that 10 years was enough time for the internet to forget the flop and start throwing money at it retroactively. Reality check. It was not enough time. That anniversary post landed like a grenade in their own trench. Quick recap for anyone who blocked it out. This reboot was marketed as a bold, progressive reinvention of the beloved 80s classic. Instead, it became a legendary financial and reputational disaster. Production budget, a bloated $144 million, plus a massive marketing spend on top of that. Worldwide box office, roughly $227 million, nowhere close to breaking even once you factor in marketing costs. That's not a mixed result, that's a straight up money bonfire, and it's exactly why every grand plan for sequels and a whole shared cinematic universe got quietly buried and never spoken of again. For a decade, Sony basically acted like the movie never existed, and then, out of nowhere, they decided the smartest move was to remind everyone. The internet responded with exactly the warmth you'd expect, a full-blown pile-on in the comments. The most popular question, unsurprisingly, was some version of who in the marketing department thought this was a good idea. People openly told Sony to delete the post. One commenter said the movie should be erased from human memory entirely. A journalist bluntly suggested Sony needed to learn how to read a room. And one of the sharper comments compared rewatching the movie to licking the inside of a filthy city bus, which frankly is one of the more vivid pieces of movie criticism we've seen in a while. And people remember how this all started too. The original trailer set records for dislikes, and Sony's leadership at the time just brushed off the criticism completely, fully convinced they were about to make cinematic history. When the movie flopped hard, that confidence turned into public finger-pointing, actress complaints, and Leslie Jones publicly treating any future return to the original Ghostbusters universe as some kind of personal insult. In the end, this movie's legacy isn't fun comedy reboot. It's the textbook example of what happens when a studio decides a message matters more than making an actual good film, and then loses a mountain of money proving the point. So there you have it. 2 studios, 2 anniversaries nobody asked for, 2 reminders that audiences aren't nearly as gullible as marketing departments seem to think. You can slap a disclaimer on a classic, you can throw a party for a flop, but people notice. They remember. And no amount of corporate self-congratulation changes what actually happened. That's just my take. Drop yours in the comments, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.